Talking about the structure of the poem, A Tiger in the Zoo consists of 5 stanzas, each having 4 lines in it. As you can see, in each stanza, only the second and fourth lines rhyme together. Second and fourth line, for example, cage and rage. 2 lines are rhyming with each other. The rhyme scheme of the poem is ABCB and it goes on like this. As an example, cage rhymes with rage in the first stanza. As I told you, the metrical composition of the poem is unconventional. There isn't any specific metrical scheme in the poem. The poet mostly uses the iambic meter and the anapestic meter in the poem. However, the poet also uses spondee in the poem. As an example, quiet rage is an spondee. Now, if we talk about the historical aspect of the poem, A Tiger in the Zoo by Leslie Norris was written in 1938 when the poet was 17 years old. From age 12, Norris wanted to be a poet and listened to the poetry of Dylan Thomas and Vernon Watkins. Whatsoever, through this poem, he presents the attitude of men towards animals. Men derive pleasures from captivating wild animals behind bars. It not only pains those animals, but the poet's heart also pains for their sufferings. Moreover, through this poem, he advocates for the freedom of zoo animals. Like A Tiger in the Zoo, the following poems also talk about tigers and other animals kept in captivity. For example, The Tiger by William Blake. Here, William Blake, one of the best British poets, presents the awe-inspiring features of the tiger. It is one of the best William Blake poems. The Tiger in the Menagerie by Emma Jones. Then, The Tiger Who Wore White Gloves by Gwendolyn Brooks. Then, In Praise of Creation by Elizabeth Jennings. Coming to the literary devices, the poem starts with a scenic dog. By using vivid stripes, the poet refers to the body of the tiger. The poet uses personification for investing the tiger with the qualities of humans. There is a metaphor in velvet white. Here, the poet compares the pads of the tiger to velvet. Moreover, in quiet rage, there is a personal metaphor and oxymoron as well. Apart from that, in the second stanza, the poet uses alliteration in the last line. Thereafter, in the third stanza, the poet uses ascendanton. The concrete cell is the following stanza contains consonants. In the last stanza, uses a metaphor of voice for the sound made by the patrolling cars. The repetition of brilliant in the last 2 lines is meant for emphasizing the similarity between the stars and the eyes of the tiger. The poem presents several themes such as freedom versus captivity, tamed versus wild, wilderness and natural beauty. The most important theme of the poem is freedom versus captivity. In this poem, Norris describes how the tiger longs for its freedom. It somehow wants to break its imposed captivity to become the same wild spirit again. Thereafter, the poet talks about how men try to tame the wild. It not only destroys the beauty of the wild, but it also tries to kill one's basic instincts. Moreover, the description of the tiger and its movement in the forest depict the nature of wilderness. The poet also speaks on the theme of natural beauty in this poem. The tiger is a part of nature that stands for the beauty of nature as a whole. It represents the wild side of nature, still it has its beauty. The poet compares the luster of the tiger's eye to that of the stars.